instead of dates, let's call it the first time hanging out with someone new. How many times has that occurred?
I mean, probably. I mean, I've been dating since I was like 15.
Sure, yeah.
It was 15 years ago. So
200?
Maybe like 100.
100?
Anywhere from 100.
Okay, so of those 100, let's say, how many of those did you initiate?
I don't think I've ever initiated a first date.
Oh,
Or like
so-
the first time hanging out with somebody.
So just to bring it back to the who should pay thing, you said that whoever asks should pay. However, of the 100 first dates or whatever you want to call them that you've been on, you've not initiated any of those. Ergo, the guy should pay. The man should pay.
Ergo, in my situation, the man should pay, yes.
Right, because you say whoever asks should pay, yet you've never asked a guy out on a date.
Because I don't have to ask guys out.
Precisely.
On dates.
Women don't have to ask.
But
men
they
out.
could.
She's also speaking as an individual because I've had the completely opposite experience.
Okay, but I would say you're an outlier. I would say most women are more like her than they are like you.
Okay, but why can't most women be like me? Like,
I agree. Why don't women initiate more? Because they don't have to. They have the privilege and the benefit of not having to.
I think that's just again, like personal preference. I think that's straight up
It's
just
not
up to the.
It's not personal preference.
I think it's up to the woman, right?
Sure.
And that's the thing. Like, sure, maybe they don't have to, but like, just pursue other women that would want to be willing to like give you more. Like, if that's your problem.
Men don't have the privilege of waiting around, letting women come to them. If men did do that, they would die virgins.
I reach out to men all the time. I'll shoot my shot.
You're an outlier.
I'm an outlier.
You're an outlier.
Yeah, but I'm still in the conversation, so I still count. You know, like even if I am a minority,
I'm not excluding you
I
from the
know I am
conversation.
an outlier, but my experience is still representative of a lot of other women who are just like me.
Let me ask you a question.
She is right here, and that's 50% of this whole squad right here.
Okay, but that doesn't represent 50% of all women.
It doesn't. That's not what I said.
Yeah.
I'm saying we're presenting 50% of the women right here.
But just because you guys, move a certain way doesn't mean that that's going to be representative of all women.
I think you're like trying to create this like fake issue, right? Like men don't have the privilege of women reaching out to them, which
it is a privilege.
Just seems like maybe women haven't reached out to maybe you. I've reached out to plenty of men. I will slide in a guy's DMs. I do not give a fuck. I swear to God, a lot like Odell Beckham Jr. I'm sure women throw themselves at him all the time. And if it's a guy at a coffee shop,
you DM'd Odell?
No, I don't.
He DM'd you?
No, I'm saying.
I'm just
I'm saying as an example, like women do shoot their shot all the time. If I see
they'll shoot their shot with a guy who's a fucking NFL player.
No, dude, we were at In-N-Out.
Bro, you give Odell. How about the normal guy that works at Starbucks?
That's the guy I go for.
We were at In-N-Out and we were at the drive-thru, and the drive-thru guy was super cute, and I was like, "What's up, cutie pie?" And he was like, "Oh my God."
And I think it's funny though too, because like guys do not get hit on nearly as much as women.
Yeah, like we can agree
when
that
you hit on a guy. Personally, me, I love making the first move, because when you hit on a guy first,
because they're like, "Whoa, no way!"
It's so fun.
But the question isn't like, have you hit on a guy? It's have you asked a guy?
Yeah,
out?
Yeah. I like asking. Like I've.
Yo, Clown World in the chat.
Clown
World in the chat. Spam
Brian,
that shit, boys.
can I tell you a story?
I told you I have multiple times.
No, I'm not in response to you.
I want to tell you a story.
You can just pretend that women don't do that, but I think it's maybe these guys. You know, like women, 3 out of 4 women here continually hit up guys. Sorry.
Okay, but Kazumi, you are an outlier in numerous ways. You make $3 million a year.
Is she an outlier? She's a pretty woman in college who hits on guys.
Thank you.
And goes on dates.
But she's an outlier too.
Okay, but how are 3 of us outliers
because
and one
we're
of us
just looking
not?
at us right here though. Like majority of women do not make the first move on guys, because majority of women feel like a man should come up to them first, like a man should spoil them first, like We just have like a different.
I
Like,
think,
you
well,
know?
okay, well, I think that in society's views, yeah, sure, most women don't do that. But I guess the reason that we're saying that, hey, yes, we are women and we enjoy making the first move, we enjoy initiating, we enjoy doing the things that the man is traditionally supposed to do.
Women-
We're just saying that to give the people watching the perspective that, like, life is not just a box that you choose to put yourself in. Like, there are so many different things going on.
The exception does not make the rule. The exception does not make the rule. It is the exception when a woman initiates. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it is the exception. I'm speaking in generalities here. Now, Kazumi, you said that, well, maybe, it just doesn't happen to you, Brian. Well, first off, you are right. It doesn't happen to me. I would tell you this, though. My looks equivalent, my, say, status equivalent, if a girl had my following and was my looks equivalent, I'd give myself, well, we could do the rating later, but she's getting like 20 DMs a day from dudes. I almost never get DMs. And here's the thing. Average women will get DMs. Average men will never in their life get a single DM from a girl. If a girl does, in the rare instance that it happens, does approach a guy, she's going to go for like the guy she really, really likes. Whereas guys are going to shoot their shot at like girls that are their equivalent, or even girls that are like looks wise below them.
I think also women are socialized to not do the first move because they don't want to seem slutty. They don't want to seem easy. They don't want the guy to be like, oh, is she thirsty? Is she like desperate? Like, why is she doing that? I'm a girl and I get rejected sometimes. Like I feel like the reason there's many reasons why men don't get hit on as much as women, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
I think it comes
Okay,
off
but
as confident rather than.
I want to continue with this conversation. Can you do this, TTS?
When Brian is talking, like saying in general, the average, he is talking about what is likely and really realistic. He isn't talking in absolutes at all. You are still valid, but aren't representative of all women. All women aren't in your position. Okay,
Dank Naked,
Brian,
thank you for the $50
then how
super chat.
would you want me
can
to
hide it.
approach the conversation since I can only talk about my perspective?
But okay, look, we can talk about, let me ask you a question. How many fingers do humans have?
10,
Oh my
generally.
gosh, this question again.
Listen.
Brian.
But okay.
But
Humans have 10 fingers, correct?
Humans generally have 10 fingers,
Do
Brian,
some-
but we are
hold
talking
on,
about the
hold
human
on.
experience,
Yeah,
right?
hold on.
Which is
no,
nuanced.
Hold on. That's not the point I'm about to make. Are some humans born with an extra digit?
Sure.
Do some humans have 11 fingers?
Yes.
Okay, but it's not incorrect to say that humans have 10 fingers, because generally speaking, the vast majority of humans
What would this
have
podcast
10
be if I just continually agreed with you?
I'm
There
not-
would be
you
no
don't-
podcast.
You don't have to agree with me.
Yeah, we're not agreeing. So I am here to give you your counterpoint, which is my ultimately extremely different experience than yours.
But you're it's almost like you're not acknowledging the fact.
I do understand the fact. I know you're talking about the general speaking public, but I'm saying that the general speaking public doesn't actually exist. We
But
live
see,
in a
you're not-
world on the internet which has several different micro communities of people who believe a certain thing and live by different societal
But
rules.
okay, Kazumi, here's the thing, is that we don't actually disagree. There are women that initiate. We don't disagree, but it's sort of irrelevant because the point I'm trying to make is that men don't get approached. They don't get initiated like that.
And
you're trying to say,
because they
well,
were-
some women do, but that's really not, that really doesn't combat the point I'm trying to make, because I agree with you. Some women do initiate. Most women, however, don't.
So what do you want from this conversation?
Well, you can't, if I say most women don't initiate, most women don't approach men, your counter to my argument cannot be, well, some women do.
Except
we don't
it
disagree.
Can be. No, I'm saying, well,
It's
I'm
not a
giving
counter
you,
to my argument.
I'm giving a different perspective to an experience that a lot of these men online think that they are trapped in, right? A lot of these men do believe that what you're saying is an absolute, unfortunately, because they are worm-brained, okay? A lot of
They're
them...
not warm. It's not
Yeah, they
warm.
are.
What,
they
what
do
specifically about what I said
they
makes them warm
think
brained?
that you are speaking in absolute terms. They don't understand that there are women
not.
like me who exist, right?
I have preempted almost all of my statements by saying, in general.
And I have preempted most of my statements by saying my experience.
But you're saying I'm speaking in absolutes, even though I've repeatedly said. Hold
even
on,
though
hold
you're
on, hold
saying
on.
that,
Don't interrupt.
read your
Hold on.
fucking chat.
What
Your chat obviously thinks a lot of these things are absolutes. They have not met women like me, so it's important for them to see women like me tell them my experience. There are women that will hit on you. There are women that don't care about your dick size, your height, your finances, or whatever. Really, the best way to approach dating is just by being a good person.
Okay. It's not wrong for someone in the chat to, for example, say women don't approach men. Generally speaking, they don't.
And there's nothing wrong with me saying sometimes they do.
Right. That's
so
true.
We're agreeing.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you, but it does not, it doesn't change the fact that for most men, they are invisible. Most men never get approached. They never get a DM in their entire life. An average man will never get approached in his entire life. He'll never get a DM in his entire life. You cannot say the same about an average woman.
I think first of all, a lot of women don't get approached in real life. We are pretending that all women look like us. Okay, there are a lot of women who are very unconventionally attractive. There are women who aren't really cool or popular. There are women who, and they don't.
It depends on the setting. If you go to a bar or nightclub, almost any woman's been approached in those venues.
Wrong.
How often do you go to bars or clubs?
Okay, so
You've never been hit on at a bar or club?
Absolutely not. No, I really haven't. No, I'm so serious. I really haven't because I am a big girl, Brian. I'm a big girl.
Hey,
I'm tall.
Some guys like big girls.
And you're right. Some guys, my boyfriend's certainly into big girls, and that's why we're together. But I don't normally get approached in public, and I also don't normally get approached meaningfully and like truthfully in the DMs either. Right? Because look, as a woman, I am tall, I am big. I also don't really consider myself like conventionally attractive. And
perhaps that's the issue then.
Okay, but see, why can't that be the truth for men then? If they're not getting approached because they have low confidence, then doesn't it make sense that they're obviously not going to attract anyone? But besides the point, what I'm trying to say is, as a woman who, is a human, has insecurities, is tall, and generally doesn't fit like the super attractive mold of what men are normally attracted to, I have been put in a position where it's the norm for me to initiate because the majority of men don't initiate with me. But that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be a few guys who do initiate with me, because in recent times there have been. But I, as a woman, don't normally get approached in outside areas, especially when I'm surrounded by women who are more conventionally attractive than me, shorter than me, skinnier than me. That's just how it is. But I don't let that fester in my brain and make it seem like, oh, I'm never going to find love, like blah, 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 whatever. I need to make the change in myself to achieve what I want.
Okay, but do you are out there in the ether when it comes to social media, so you don't get any DMs? I mean, you have an OnlyFans. I assume your patrons, or I don't know what your fans, I guess. I don't know what the proper term is. I suspect that they have a romantic interest in you.
They DM. Okay, well, first of all, people who DM me on social media don't normally DM me to have a meaningful connection with me. They're like, oh, you got a Snapchat? Oh, can you send me pictures? Oh, can you send me videos? Whatever. So that's.
But most guys don't even get that.
Because in what position would a man be put in, or like, what scenario would a man be in for a woman to approach him like that? Because for me,
you're right. Men don't get DMs, but go ahead.
She has an OnlyFans page, so
exactly.
Of course they are.
Right. I am personified as a sexual being, which is why men are okay DMing me stuff like that.
Well, I thought you said you don't get DMs.
No, I told you I do have DMs, but a lot of them aren't for personal connections. They're just like,
they're romantically or sexually interested.
They're most of the time sexually interested.
Well, but that's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like the only
men
reason...
don't get any of that. They don't get sexual. They don't get romantic interest. None of it.
Are they posting a lot? Are they putting themselves out there?
What about the guys who do put themselves out there, like...
On social media?
Yeah, like the guy who chops wood, Bradley Thor. His DMs are...
Wait, who?
Lit.
I'm sorry, who?
Are you in the guy who's... that guy? Bradley Thor.
Is that a male model?
I think it's
don't
like
know.
he's like a guy who is in the forest and he chops wood. He's like very like, I don't know, popular
with women or with
in
men?
Instagram with women. I probably with men too. Shit, I don't know. I have a friend.
Okay, but
I have a friend who's like a super muscular bodybuilder dude, and his DMs are blown the fuck up by men and women.
okay, you said he's a body. How many followers does he have?
I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know. I haven't looked. I don't know. Like a lot though. Like
More
over
than 100,000. I mean,
I think over 100,000.
but okay,
yeah.
a girl with like 1,000 followers is getting a lot of DMs on Instagram. Sydney, how many followers on Instagram do you have?
1,700. A little over that.
How many DMs per week would you say you get from men?
Unopened ones, I have like 35 right now. Like in the requests.
That you received in the past week?
Like in the past week, I've gotten like 5.
5 DMs.
Yeah, and some
you
of them
have,
are from like your show.
Yeah, but you haven't been on the show in months.
I know.
So it's like, okay, some of them are
YouTube
from the
is
show.
forever.
How about before you were on my show? Were you
is
getting
forever.
DMs before
Yeah.
you ever were on my show? Were you getting DMs from men?
Yeah.
You have 1,700 followers.
Yeah.
Okay. How many per week were you getting?
Like 3 or 4.
Do you have any siblings, male brothers,
Yeah.
older or younger?
Younger.
How young?
12.
Okay, not gonna. There's
Yeah,
no
don't.
DMs there, but okay. So, okay, your male counterpart, let's say, goes to City College. No girls are DMing him. No girls are. You're how old? 20.
I'm 22.
You're 22. No 22-year-olds at Santa Barbara City College. No males are getting DMs. Maybe some of the football players might be getting DMs, but even then, SBC, what is it, like D3 or some shit?
Of going to school?
Well, SBCC, the football team, what is it, D3?
Oh, they're D3.
They're D3. Okay, yeah, no chicks care. D3.
No. And honestly though, like I do think, and like I see it from both point of views too, because like I have like both like friends, like some of my best friends are guys, but like I do see it. Guys do not get DM'd. They don't.
They don't get
And
DM'd.
they don't. I will say that like
Generally speaking.
Yeah, they genuinely, yes.
95%
And I
of
DM'd guys,
men.
though, too. Like I've been like debating DMing like this
But
one.
the guys you do DM are like, they're
they're
really
my gym
fucking
junkies.
hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Dudes will.
He's so pretty.
A guy could DM a girl that is like less attractive than her and still get blanked, still just invisible. So like,